Joanna Barnett,
Leah Bruce,
Renee Phillip,
Sophia Metlis. So, previously in the last lesson, or this lesson, we watched a little clip at the beginning, and it was about Shakespearean accent, which links to our monologues that we're doing. So, how can we apply the accent to the monologue? Basically, it was going on how Shakespearean accents weren't really like received pronunciation. They were more like West Country or inspired from different accents. So, yeah, how can we apply this to our monologues?
Is that the question? How can we?
Yeah.
How can we just experimenting with different accents, because you're not gonna know straight off the bat what the accent's gonna be. Like mine's set in Norway. I can't do a Norwegian accent. I think it's Norway. Oh my god. No, Denmark. Oh my god, Denmark. What's the accent in Denmark?
Danish.
Is it Danish? Yeah, I can't do Danish. But everyone has their own interpretation of their monologue. And so we can imply or apply just by experimenting, seeing which ones would work, which ones wouldn't, and just getting feedback off our peers, like what they think sounds good, or if in doubt, just do your own accent. That's probably the best way.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Like, it would be interesting to apply an accent onto our monologues. Like, mine's set in Venice, which would be Italian accent.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, ours is set in Venice, an Italian accent. So, I just don't think it would be very distracting from the actual, like...
Yeah, I'm doing mine in, like, 2017 type of English, like
Yeah,
how
same.
we would talk.
And if they can't do the accent, that would be the distraction. They
It
wouldn't
would be a
focusing.
downfall.
Exactly, like the people watching it would be more focused on how badly they will be doing the accent
And
and
like
not
when
actually
they were
what they're
talking
saying.
about it later, they wouldn't be like talking about how good you were acting. And she'd be like,
It'd be-
oh, remember how shit that fucking accent was.
Yeah. We don't really use language, but how bad that accent was.
Yeah.
See, mine's based in like Scotland, and I could not do a Scottish accent at all. I can do like an Irish accent, but I just feel like if I do an Irish accent on my monologue, it's just gonna be a bit like, is it necessary? I don't think like technically I am pretty well spoken, like, and when I'm performing, I do just articulate naturally. But then they also say, okay, try not to be articulate doing it. Use your normal voice. But what happens if your normal voice is naturally quite articulate?
But you can.
I'd have to put on.
You can, but you don't have to. Like,
because I personally, I like Shakespeare in its natural way. Like, I'm not really a Shakespearean fan, so like I'm not like its biggest fan. But when I watch it, I like to see it kind of. And it's like, because it's written in Old English. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like when I see it kind of modernised and it's made quite like I don't know if I'll enjoy the Othello version of it, because it's based in like in a pub and.
But it feels so real. Like when you watch it, you don't focus on. It's English, but obviously, and it's not like. It's their accent is basically how I'm talking.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a little bit more like rough.
Yeah.
Basically.
Because I don't think that's that bad, but like, you know, when it's kind of made a little bit more like ghetto, I find that cringe.
Same.
Like, and I just don't know how like I could change, because my monologue is Lady Macbeth. She is in royalty. Do you know what I mean? Her husband has just been like crowned king.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not going to try and over articulate it, but certain words, the way they are like written, you have to pronounce it, or you just. Do you know what I mean?
I just think it sounds weird because we've like grown up hearing when people do Shakespearean monologues, and Shakespeare is very articulate and pronounced. So when people make it like
change it up,
it just sounds odd.
And some people, you know what I mean? That's just our personal opinion. Like some people,
I prefer it when it's changed.
She prefers it like when it's changed.
Like if I'm sitting there watching a Shakespeare like performance and it's like the natural way, I get so bored. Like,
Mm.
because like, I don't really understand what they're talking about,
Yeah.
and like they
But
don't really
it
have
all-
like
it
a
all
lot of
comes down-
characterization in their
yeah.
voice, truthfully.
It all
Mhm.
comes down to the actor itself,
Yeah.
because it's their choice and how they want to
Yeah.
do their monologue.
It's all about tonality, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, you can be a witch from Macbeth, probably still articulate the words you're saying, but you'll have this, like, witchy tone to you. You're not talking like, oh, yeah, ha, la, ha. Like, that isn't, I don't think that's not what Shakespeare should be. But say if you're a butler, then yeah, I kind of think keeps the context of it. If you're a butler, maybe you should talk a little bit more like that. But say if you're, I don't know, like a servant, little servant woman, she isn't going to be as articulate as, say, Lady Macbeth,
But
because
then Iago, he was ex-military. What was he before?
A lieutenant.
So he doesn't have to be. Lieutenants aren't
But
posh.
The way I'm
Yeah.
setting it, I'm not setting it in that setting anymore.
Yeah,
I'm going
exactly.
to change up the setting and make it into the business world.
Yeah.
So he would be a bit of a posh blip.
But you sometimes you might want to keep a little bit of the context, like maybe
yeah, and certain people want
Yeah.
to keep it, like,
maybe keep the accent, change the story.
Yeah.
You know.
I've basically thrown away the context.
That's
Truthfully.
mine.
yeah, because it's
yours.
It's up for
Yeah.
interpretation. Do you know what I mean? You
It's
do whatever you
your
want with it.
Iago.
Like my one, she's because we done this like little visual technique with Leanne the other day, and she was like, okay, like you see this person, like they're walking towards you, you look at their feet, and one minute I saw her, she was in prison, like she was in like an isolation like unit, and like she just doesn't see anyone. That's what drove her crazy. But then it would also like flash, and she looks like she's in a mental home. Like the feet that I'd see didn't have any shoes on; they were like bare feet, and they looked like she's just come from a mental asylum. But it kept like every time I was like in this little like meditation, like little
Meditative state.
yeah, it was like sweeping like between both of them, and that's because I think she has that kind of like in her mental state, she probably is like this woman that looks really fragile and she's got no shoes on, but on the outside she actually is just like in like prison clothes with like shoes on. So yeah, I don't know, like, but she's still gonna, I don't know, I still want her to be an articulate kind of woman.
Yeah.
I feel like we just answered the question, or the questions in one big
What was the
clump.
next question?
The others were, how will this impact on your delivery of the monologue? We've pretty much answered that. What might you change after seeing this? We've answered that. Why would you change this?
Well, why would we, like, to give more depth, I think.
To make it more true to the actual.
But so if we did,
If we did change it,
Yeah.
it would probably make it more real to the character, like
Yeah.
to you, like being this character, you're
It's-
making it your own.
It's genuine and how Shakespeare actually created it.
and it could like could be more intriguing, like
Yeah.
for a
It's
monologue to
unusual.
be
It's out
like-
of the usual. Like normally, it's received pronunciation. So obviously, when you do change it up, people are going to be like, "Oh, that's different."
If I could do an accent, I probably could.
But you can train yourself to do accents.
You could have a deeper accent. You could have a higher.
Or even just like a more of a husky
Like
accent.
Buddy Allen. I don't know what accent is, but you know.
Right.
No one else has noticed.
I noticed.
It's gonna be in our Viva again.
Okay.
Come in.
Yes.
Pardon?
If you're quiet, then you can come in. I feel like it's
We've
the
already
roles
discussed
are
this.
reversed.
If I'm quiet, you can come into mine.
You can come into your office.
Thank you.
Leave. Okay. What have we done this week then?
I've done a lot this week.
How will it? Oh yeah. What have we done this week?
We've done opening evening, like the monologues,
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did
the
opening.
dancing.
That was interesting.
Yeah, that
'Cause
was
It's
I-
hard.
I tried like blocking people out, like when we did the open evening as well.
It was kind of good practice though, wasn't it?
Yeah, for an
Like,
audience.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Because there were obviously some dancers that came in that were viewing the college. They joined in with us, and they were a lot better than us,
Yeah.
which made it a bit cringe.
But again,
they are trained dancers.
they're trained and they you know, they are dance school material.
Yeah.
but
It just made us.
They
It
might-
just showed how far behind we kind of are when it comes to technique.
but
Because
because
to be fair, we didn't like learn before we came here. We were doing drama and stuff. We were
Yeah.
reactors. They could just come
But
in
because
because they were dancing.
we're performing arts, if we were strictly dance, it would have been different because
Yeah, then that would be really bad if we didn't know how to do like a double
exactly.
pirouette.
But because
like,
we're performing arts, everyone is better in certain fields. So
there are some singers, there are some actors, there
Yeah.
there are some dancers. Like you're a very very good dancer.
Yeah.
but like I'm
Accepted.
not a good singer.
But-
So like if
Mm.
we were singing in the open evening, like I would be like I wouldn't be good, but there'll be open evening there could have been like trained singers. It's like well
Yeah.
not trained, so
Yeah.
but it did make us look a bit like
Yeah, it made
Yeah.
us think like we need to like
we need to
Work
step
10
on.
And I'm
Yeah.
very unfit because I tried to like go full out in the warm up. Like there was this just the beginning bit was like punching and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I need to go for it. I felt like I was doing a show. Oh my god!
I did go full out.
I
That was
did-
the first time I've ever gone full
But then
out.
I was dead by the end of that warm up, and then but whilst the time we were doing like our actual dance, I'm there sweating like a pig. Like
I was sweating, but I weren't sweating a lot. Like it was like the first time I've sweated since like high
I
school.
sweat. I'm a sweater. It's because I put effort
I'm
in.
not really a sweater.
I'm
Yeah, but I
really
put effort in.
sweary.
You don't put that much. You put effort in, but you're light with your movements.
Same, I am as well.
No, I'm not.
You're not like when you punch
That's
like bang. You're like kind of.
I actually was though. I went full out on that.
Okay.
Some people just
But I
sweat
just
more
don't
than
sweat.
others.
Yeah.
You know.
I sweat a little bit.
I
But
guess we
even
have
American
smaller
Idiot,
sweat
was I
glands.
sweating?
No, and that was at like
Exactly.
40 degrees.
Exactly.
I wasn't
Um,
really sweating that much.
So you didn't do nothing.
My face just shone a bit. It just made my
Um,
highlight look better.
What else have we done this week?
We
It's basically
Haley's
the
dance.
same. Oh yeah. We just started a new dance.
Michael Jackson.
And Michael Jackson.
Moved
Winter
Criminal.
I think the dances that we're learning at the moment, we're as a class we're picking up a lot quicker than we did
Yeah,
last year.
We've
Definitely.
definitely progressed
Mhm.
with picking up choreography, like, but even like Smooth Criminal, that it wasn't hard movement, but
Yeah, but
even
like
so,
Mhm.
picking it up is a
it
lot
weren't hard,
quicker.
but when she put the music on and seeing how fast it
Yeah,
was, we were
it
like,
can throw you
oh
off.
wait.
That is more my type of dance. I like characterizing it. I like being able to look like I'm acting
Yeah.
whilst dancing because I feel like it saves it. Like you can't.
No, I can't act and dance at the same time.
I feel
think
like
one or the other.
I can't dance without acting.
If I act and try to dance, I'll mess up the dance. If I dance and don't act, I'm just gonna look like
But
an
my
idiot.
acting, I'm not sitting there thinking, yeah, okay, I'm a woman called Chloe that's been around. Like, it isn't like that. It's more like
I'm Michael
I just
Jackson.
change. I'm more of this like sassy person that wants people to look at me. Whereas, say, like I've said this in like I feel like every single Viva, but that is the difference between say, like, commercial to say release and contemporary. That is more the fluidity of the body, whereas they don't really care what you're doing with your face.
I don't really like the Michael Jackson dance, like
Do you
from
not?
Cameron's or Haley's.
Really?
I love them.
No, like it's just not me. I like her little slave dance,
Mm.
but the Michael Jackson one just ain't for me. Like, I
Be
feel
careful
like
how
I'm
you
looking.
word that, Renee.
I don't know. I just don't know. But
Her more
like,
contemporary dance, actually.
yeah, thank you. But like that one, it was like slow and like I don't know, like more girly, and the Michael Jackson was just like I
I
don't know.
felt
it
like
just
that was
felt-
more sassy.
It made me feel like an idiot. Like I'm doing it,
Yeah.
and people are gonna laugh at me because I look like an idiot.
No, see, I think it's the complete opposite. Like, I think when you're doing that, you can just. When I'm dancing it, I feel like I'm confident doing it. Like, I can change it up. If I'm doing a body roll and someone's doing it from their head and I'm doing it from the shoulders, as long as it's looking good, and I feel like there's a lot more freedom in the dances that we do, like, with them. But then I have done that for, like, years. Since I was, like, 13, I've been doing more commercial stuff. So maybe that's why I.
Oh, I haven't done, never done
See,
that.
I love commercial. Like, it's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it doesn't have to be, whereas like contemporary, it doesn't have to be,
Perfect.
yeah.
But it's you have to be synchronized in commercial. That's the difference between like contemporary and commercials, because contemporary can be very, because their moves are so like oh la la. It's very kind of like you do it at your own kind of speed. But with commercial, certain moves, if a move is sharp and it's like that, everyone needs to do it at the same time, or you'll know when someone's wrong. Do you know what I mean?
3, 2, 1. Oh, she didn't do it.
Oh.
3, 2, 1. Okay, that was sad.
It's like a really bad dab, but yeah.
No. How will it help you with the overall aim of this term's release? Well, we have two solo dances that we need to do, so it can give us inspiration, like these dances. So we could go contemporary, we could go lyrical, we could go commercial. Like, it's up to us.
Yeah.
And with these different styles, it really showcases like what we can take.
We've
and
done
how
a
we
lot
can
more
take it.
dance this term.
We've got like 5 lessons or something.
But I like it because, like,
especially tap.
I love tap. I wish, I hope, Jamie, if you're watching this, please, can you keep tap for the whole year? Because,
Do ballet.
not ballet, tap.
I love tap ballet as well.
But you know, ballet's okay as well, but like, tap, I feel like we're picking it up so quick. If we just stopped doing it after this term, it's like a waste, because I feel like all of us, we're picking up tap very quickly. So yes, there you go.
With the monologues, it was mostly just like getting like how we could change our monologues up instead of keeping it all the same.
Well, it was very much character analysis this week.
Mhm.
Like, we did more exercises on our characters rather than on monologues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with like the relaxation exercises,
Yeah.
plus 10 questions with Joe.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah,
Plus
the 10 questions
Gavin.
with Joe actually really did help me.
I like the hot seating.
Yeah,
That
plus
that
the
was so
seating, like,
fun.
it was more to do with getting to know us.
It was like you can click your fingers and just become your character.
Yeah.
I think that is what's important with it. That's what makes it more like,
That's a persona.
well, it's like there's a difference between someone pretending to be a character or actually being the character for that moment, and that's what makes it real and not real. Shacting.
I feel like split whenever like I go into the character. I'm just like a different person. I'm just like, but
And like
Yeah.
I know, you know, when we're in the circle and we're gonna go in,
Mm.
I know when I'm about to go in.
yeah.
Like I can feel it in me. Like I will start like fiddling with my hands. I'm like, this is her trying to come out. Do you know what I mean? Like I need to go in there right now. I sound like I'm possessed.
I never know. I always want to like. I don't want to be last. I want to be like second to last. But I always see Sophia go.
I was like pushing you in.
Yeah.
I know, like, because I feel like I just roll my shoulders back and I'm a bit more open, and then my
So
arms
do you
come
feel
down,
it as well then?
and then I walk in, I like my feet spread apart, and I'm just like,
yeah.
did Cassie all off?
Yeah. So do you feel that as well then?
Yeah.
Like you know when you're about to go in.
Yeah, I literally like, I can feel it. Like I can feel my body just like
Yeah.
change into a different thing.
That I can feel my hands start to like fidget, and I'm like, I start to feel just like nervous, but not nervous to go in there. It's more like I'm feeling like Lady Macbeth when she's like losing her mind, kind of thing.
So I just feel cocky. Yeah, I forget what you mean. I just become like a cocky little piece of sugar,
Sugar or dirt.
dirt, and yeah, I can just feel it. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, we also have to sing our songs today, so we've been.
Well, only a verse and chorus.
If you want
it's
to.
like a milestone.
Yeah, you're allowed to do the whole song if you want to. I'll probably sing my whole song to her, just so I can know if she just so because I can do the whole song. Like I want to just see how she thinks about that. But so we've had singing with Leanne a few times. We've had we're singing
Only like 3 times we've had her.
no, but we've had 2 because we was in the other class.
Oh yeah.
So what's that musical song that we're
Last Night of the World.
and
From Miss Saigon.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Such a lovely song.
Yeah, it took me a while to get used to it, because like with musicals I find, not all songs but like most songs, it's very speaky and there's no sort of rhythm to it, and where I'm kind of musical, the first thing I do is try and find the rhythm, and I can't do that in some musical songs. But as I got to know like the song, got to get used to it, you kind of find your own rhythm in it,
Yeah.
and you get used to it, and so I really like it now. I think it's a really nice song. Took
And
me a while, but
I think it's different to other musical songs because there's even like a little belty section which sounds like it sounds a bit like a normal song. Do you know what I mean? On that little bit, it's like, oh, it's like a Christina Aguilera song. Like, oh.
I don't really like doing it as a whole class, like the other side and our side.
Yeah, I don't really like that.
Because
Either.
like
I liked
it was like so much louder, but it didn't sound right.
Mm.
Because like
I think when we do it with our class,
It's because they're like, we know our class. We know what we sound like.
yeah,
Like, they put some people in sopranos. Like, it was really low. I could like hear it, and certain people, like, because of their distinct way they sing, really threw me off.
Mhm.
And like, I was trying to get back into my tune, but all I could hear was them, and I was like,
yeah.
no.
See, I was more like, I like our class because I feel like when we're in a smaller class, our voices merge a bit
Yeah.
better. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when it's just say, when in the soprano bit, you're one of the sopranos in our class, aren't you? It was like us four and what rim. So our voices, all us four, we're used to singing together anyway because of last term. So I feel like we know how to sing as one. Whereas when then there's loads of other people there, it's a bit like, okay, now it's a lot louder, we need to try and sing louder.
The boys' part did sound better though.
'Cause
Like,
they-
did you
yeah.
hear Tanner?
I did hear Tanner.
I was like,
Did it sound better?
yeah. I think it sounded.
I don't think it did. I think when Sam came in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
started to sound
I
better.
heard, I could hear it.
It was
I
a bit-
like, oh my god.
Disorganised their bit, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they didn't really know where to come in.
No, I think Charles and Tom, I think they do it alright. And
Yeah.
because we've got more girls, the girls can go a bit lower as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Emily went in the man's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other Emily as well.
But yeah, so.
What are you needing to develop to achieve these? I think with our songs, we just need to keep practicing. We need to find other songs.
And a lot more confidence. And
And-
like, do it louder.
Yeah,
Mm.
like confidence. We said this last week. Confidence was the main thing that we needed
Yeah.
to
It's
develop.
always the main thing for us.
Yeah,
And not being scared to just do something.
But to be
Yeah.
fair, we've got Leanne singing like right after this. Well, I'm kind of nervous. So.
And
Yeah.
I don't really like singing in front of people because I feel like people judge me quite a lot.
It's just like one person in the room though.
Yeah.
I know, but like even Leanne scares me. I'm comfortable in front of her. Don't get me wrong. Acting in front of her, I'm fine. But I wouldn't want to sing in front of her because I know how good she is, and I feel like she's gonna be like she would like be to my face like, oh, that's so good, but they'll be like, she's a real bad singer.
See, for me, I like, because I've been helping quite a few people and like I've been giving them songs and stuff. I feel like people just naturally assume that, yeah, my song's perfect. Like but actually like I get so nervous, and I feel like it's because there's this kind of thing like, oh yeah, Leah is a singer. Like Leah can help people. I'm like, Leah can go wrong, and Leah gets really scared. And like, at the moment, I'm actually kind of putting myself thinking about having to sing for her because there's just this kind of this thing where people think I'm going to do well. Do you know what I mean? Like Joanna, because me and Joanna, there is a lot of pressure on us. I feel like because, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I have a feeling I'm going to disappoint Leanne.
Me
just
too.
know it.
I think that my last little bit is gonna mess it up.
Monologues. The character. I feel like we need to develop our character.
yeah.
I need to actually learn like all of it because I only
Finish
know
learning
4 of it.
lines.
I need to stop being so safe with my monologue, I guess, because like I've kind of got into a rhythm of how I'm doing it. But I think now Gavin's getting bored of it. Like,
Yeah, I think so as well.
well, for me, or
No, me as well.
because I just but
It
I
was
just
the
don't.
first time you saw me do it, so.
I just don't know how to like change it up because that like the way I do my monologue is kind of the way that I see her being, but he's kind of saying that I'm being a bit safe with it. Not safe, but I'm like, I've stuck to what I'm normally doing. I need to experiment a bit more.
Yeah, it needs to be risky. If you don't risk it,
But I
You will
do.
never
That's
know.
what I
Try some like when you're rehearsing. Try some improv.
I'll just put it in an Irish accent.
But like use some because when I was practicing mine today, like Rim was saying, okay, like come in different, like how you've never done it before, and do stuff that you've never done. So I ran in, never done that before. I sat down, never done that before. And she was like, that's probably like one of the best times you've done it. So
When was this?
earlier today in the singing studio.
Mm.
But like levels can be a big thing.
Yeah.
You can, I don't know, like you
Like-
can sit down
Well, I liked the
Fair
idea
enough,
because we had a bean bag in our hand, and like at a certain point, I like threw the bean bag when I was like finished. But it was more like an impulse. I didn't actually know who I was throwing it to. I just kind of like threw it to the
away.
next person. But I liked that. I feel like it gave it a bit of a, ooh, do you know what I mean? It was like, oh wow, is she actually doing that? Like, what is she doing? And
yeah, you can have an object.
so yeah, I think I want one, or at least like a pillow or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, say if there's a pillow near me, I want something that I can full on throw that isn't gonna get like lost. Do you know what I mean? If I throw a ring, it's just gonna be like, okay, well, where did that go?
You
Yeah.
want to kill you. I for my monologue, because like you see I've like changed it quite a lot. And I have like, excuse my language, bitchy character, and like I also still want that, but like you see, remember when you're like, oh, I want to use a flask and everything.
Or like a hip flask.
Yeah.
For alcohol.
Yeah, I like that because like I don't know, like I just want to have a fag and alcohol in my hand, like a bottle of Jack.
Like a glass of wine if you're a woman.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah, but I'm a little
interesting.
lesbian. And I'm quite young as well.
Well, lesbians still have a glass of wine.
I know, but
Yeah.
like, I know, but like, I don't really see much teenagers drinking a glass of wine.
But how young are you? Because you have a
I'm like-
husband.
Yeah, see,
You're like 28.
I feel like 28, a 28-year-old woman would have a glass of red.
yeah. Or wine.
Oh, right. Or rosé, you know?
Or Prosecco.
Yeah.
Or champagne.
It's easy to like fake like Jack Daniels and stuff. And like I'm really out of my head, and wine just doesn't
Alright.
do that.
Don't judge. Trust me,
Bottle
red
of
wine can
Jack.
mess you up.
Or you could have
Like-
take a bottle of wine on and be like,
Is that a bit too like Lady Barbara?
Yeah, that's why I was talking about Jack. Yeah.
Next question?
or is that the
That's
last
it.
one?
That's the last question.
So, thank you for listening.
Is that
that
everything?
everything?
Yeah, is that everything you
I
want to
think
say?
so, yeah.
Okay.
Bye.